Hello. Happy hump day. Boy, do we have a topic for you this evening. I'll be joined by relationship boosters and we are breaking down, hello, the epidemic of infidelity. Let me tap them in. Let's see. They're going to ask to get on soon. Y'all, this is about to be I don't even know. I'm ready, y'all. I have my tea. I literally have my tea ready because okay. Y'all know this is a hot topic. This situation that's going on and you know, listen. Here this has to be dealt with today. And if you enjoy the session that we have this evening, please be sure to check out the link in my bio for Black Marriage Week. It is this week. It is this weekend. And we are definitely, hello, Dr. Kia.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. We are speaking out and putting a spotlight on Black love and Black marriage. And I promise you, we did not plan this, right? I mean, could we have more content this week?
No, it's a little over the top, actually.
Girl, this is way over the top. This is okay. So I know we are sharing audiences. So for those who may not know me, I am Shanoria, the queen of wife coaching, and I'm joined this evening by Dr. Kia. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Dr. Kia of the Relationship Boosters. I'm a licensed therapist by trade, and on here I do relationship coaching. And we are hosting Black Marriage Week, which is coming up on Friday night. Hopefully you guys got your tickets. It is going to be live. We got lots of people coming to share information about all the things to empower your relationship, intimacy, emotional connection, communication, dating, what to ask, how to ask it, like all that kind of stuff. We got a men's panel, we got a women's panel, we got tons of stuff. So make sure you go to blackmarriageweek.com, that's blackmarriageweek.com, and get your tickets. Tell a friend, let people know that this thing is going on, y'all. It's all about Black love.
And on that note,
yes.
Listen, and initially we were discussing a different topic, but you have
yes.
to stay relevant. And with everything that's going on, I know even my husband and I have been discussing this on and off all day. And I'm just going to tell you, I didn't even know what was, he's Mr. Just My Thought said, what time about Black Marriage Week, Dr. Kia?
Oh, so it starts 7 p.m. Friday night, and it's pretty much all day on Saturday. Starts at 9, and ends at like 8 or 9 o'clock p.m. because we have somebody come and doing a rideology class to help people to learn how to ride, all that kind of stuff. Then Sunday morning at 10 to 2. So, yeah, it's all weekend, and VIP people, you can get a replay to make sure you don't miss anything because there's tons of stuff going on, y'all.
It's so much I need to say from that. So first of all, if you're from my community and you have not been following Relationship Boosters, tap the little arrow at the top left, I believe it is for you right now. Tap that name and make sure you follow them because they post a wealth of information and good insight. Or if you're from Relationship Boosters and you're not following me, vice versa, make sure you're following the
Absolutely,
because I definitely come through dripping all the sauce. Okay, I don't hold back. I'm not here for friends. I'm here for transformation. So let's go. Also, Rideology, shout out to Goody. If y'all don't know Goody is definitely one of the people that you should know. I have seen and had that Rideology course myself because I love to make sure that I'm familiar with the products and the services of the individuals that are featured in my coaching community, y'all. And Rideology is that deal. I say all the time, people can have a lot of sex, but that don't mean you're good at it.
Okay.
Look, we might as well start snatching edges from the start, Dr. Kia. We might as well.
Right, and she is here to help y'all with all types of stuff. So, she was like, even for the people that they're a little bit, don't have as much energy, you can still ride. And she gonna bring your yoga mat so you can find out exactly what you need to do to spice up your sex life.
Yes.
All of it, right? We got to talk about everything. We can't leave anything out.
Right. And I mean, I have 2 kids, so I mean, I really thought I knew what I was doing, And then, Goody was like, "Well, hold up though, but are you doing this?" I was like, "What?" So seriously, y'all, if I'm gonna be 100% honest, I mean, of course, I think that, my finishing school for wives in waiting is the absolute greatest. But if you're not in that, Black Marriage Week is truly your best option because they have such a holistic view of everything we need to know. And people keep asking me, is this just for married people? No, no, no. This is for singles and for individuals who are married. Because when you're in this single struggle, and I'm telling you right now, I understand the season of singleness can often be a blessing. I talked about that last Friday on Live.
Mm,
These days,
absolutely.
though, it can be a struggle, right, Dr. Kia?
Yeah.
There's a lot out here. There's a lot. But also, if you're married, you still have to understand how to keep that flame kindled, baby. How to keep the fire burning, okay? How to keep it fresh and popping, okay? How to
Yeah.
really deal. People say relationship issues. I'm not the type to use that phrase. I don't think there's necessarily relationship issues as much as I think there's issues that you didn't resolve before that relationship.
There you go. And that right there is real life. And that's why we say, like, in order to have a healthy relationship, it starts with you. And that's why we'll be talking about self-love. Like people, don't necessarily think about that whole part, which even talks about the epidemic of infidelity, right?
Come on now.
It really does start with you. When you show up and you have brought your baggage into the relationship,
Yes.
you still need to work through that baggage to make sure that it doesn't derail your relationship.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, can we talk about the bag lady? You're gonna have me do a reel tomorrow to Erica Badu. Don't nobody steal my idea. I'm gonna get that out there for y'all. Because listen, that's exactly what we're doing. We're going in dragging all this stuff, right?
yeah.
And my husband and I, look, he been sipping the tea, and he'll be there Friday for everybody VIP, sharing some insights as well. But let me tell you, we really broke this thing down because I didn't want to just talk about what we're seeing in the comments and everything lately. I said, no, this is a larger issue, right? We're going to leave that
Mhm.
alone for a second. But this is a larger issue. And that's why I'm so excited to have this conversation with you, Dr. Kia, because I know this is what you do. This is what you've been doing for like a long, long time. Like not just yesterday.
Absolutely.
You're not new.
Look, absolutely.
Right. And you also work with both singles and couples, right? So
Mhm.
you know the real deal.
Yep.
And the issue that I see here, well, actually, I'm going to have to be petty for a moment. This whole third person discussion.
People are very mad about that third person. I was like, did he really come on and troll himself with the whole video? I had to repost that because I was like, wow, that is something different. I never thought about that. But however, he is selling a book. So therefore, all publicity, I guess, is good publicity. And that's why he did it, I'm assuming.
We have to have a little bit of drizzle of integrity somewhere. Okay, I said what I said.
A
And is
drizzle.
it just me? Look, I know I'm about to really blow this up right now, but y'all drop in chat. Am I the only one who thought about R. Kelly listening to him talking? I'm just saying. I was like, that just sound familiar. This third person speak. Am I did anybody else think, hey, y'all sound like y'all drinking the same Kool-Aid? Maybe not the same flavor, but the same brand. Like, what is this? Let's look. When it comes to the epidemic of infidelity, first of all, if we're going, girl, why the bonnet? Girl,
Yeah, no, the
one
bonnet
point
was
at a
over.
time,
I
baby.
would
One
agree.
point at a time. But seriously, first of all, if we're going to heal through this thing, first we have to really come to terms and say, you know what? Yes, like real accountability. I did it and I was wrong. I'm not going to make excuses about it. I'm not going to use it as a publicity stunt. Come on, Queen Lemonade. Like, I was like, is this really just a sell product? But here's the thing. I'm coming through. I didn't mean to come so hot, Dr. Kia, but the spirit is rising. I bet enough of y'all
Hey,
are tired of just listening to men just because it's a man. Better check the credentials. Ladies love to go listen to men, and I'm not going to mention some of these other men out here, but some of us who work in this field can hear their brokenness and the advice they're giving you. But you drinking that juice, honey, you digesting it, and you all up in here, and I'm just like, that is not going to help you. We don't need to wear the vest of other people's brokenness. Oh, girl, get the t-shirts ready because we need to print them for the weekend. The issue that I see here is, let me get back to what my husband and I were talking about, the epidemic of infidelity. Number one, when we get caught, which you and I both know that's usually not the first time something's happened, that's just the first time you got
You
caught.
got busted.
Right. But if we don't at least come to the table and say, you know what, I did it. It was wrong. I'm going to be a man or a woman about it because it goes both ways, okay? And I want to
Absolutely.
repent and I want to recover. I want to heal. But people think, oh, we could just go on.
That's the biggest mistake ever. And, you know, when I work with people who have dealt with infidelity, it's like, you can't skip over that. That's not like, oh, you know, I'm going to do better next time. And, you know, oh, it was a mistake. That's not what it is. That is something I usually say for those people, actually, you really do need to go have therapy, like in real life, because you can't just hop back into a situation and pick up where you left off in that toxic stew.
Come on,
you actually need to rebuild. Like, you can't, why did you do this? Like, what is happening within you that contributed to you using that as a coping mechanism? Why is that the thing? Because you could have did 100 different things and you decided that infidelity was the one that you were going to choose. And therefore, that means that when stress comes again, it's more than likely that you will use that same coping mechanism. So, of course, today you feel like, you know, you got busted, you want to save your relationship with your family, like you're so sorry. But what about 6, 7 months from now or 3 years from now, when the stress hits again?
Come on now.
What are you going to do? And so that's why I'm like, you know, people who end up in that kind of situation do need therapy to help them to improve their relationship. And, you know, I don't push therapy on everybody just because I'm a therapist, because like I said, you know, we come on here, we do relationship coaching, which is a whole different thing. But to be honest, like, there is something going on that you need to address.
Yes.
And I don't care what your profession is. I mean, to be honest, we have worked with pastors, we have worked with politicians, we have worked with many public people who have things that have happened that they recognize, you know, I need to address because I don't want to duplicate this again. And not everything is like infidelity in terms of like sleeping with somebody else, but there's infidelity when you have prioritized something or someone else over your significant other. That is a breach of contract. That is not what people signed up for.
What? My husband knows my favorite word is exclusivity. It needs to be exclusive, like just me. I don't want you to have given it to anybody else. I don't want anybody else to get it now. I don't share. I got kicked out of preschool. Those are facts. No, that's an absolute no. But you also touched on something. And when you said therapy, I just want to clarify. She means several sessions. Not one, not two. You need several. But I also want to take this moment to help, you know, share and enlighten people because, like you mentioned, you're an actual certified therapist, and we definitely need that. And then I am a certified coach, and you do coaching as well. You have the ability to do both. However, there's a difference, and I love to break down the difference between a teacher, a coach, and a therapist. So you have a teacher who teaches you about things that have already happened in history, okay? You have a coach, when you think about like a basketball coach, a track coach, whomever, you have an objective. You have something you want to achieve or some level you're trying to reach, and we're going to assist you with getting there. We're going to get you forward. Sometimes there may be some things you need to unlearn, and we'll do some light unpacking. Maybe we'll do some timeline therapy, some NLP, some, you know, for those of us who are certified, check the certifications of your coaches. I'm going to just drop that too. But we help you to achieve an objective. But when you have some serious trauma, some serious mental illness, some deep-seated things that you need to unpack, baby, that's not me. No. That's when you need to go to therapy, okay? Therapy. And there's no shame about it. Whether it's a teacher, whether it's a coach, whether it's a therapist, you pick the right one for the situation, for the symptom, for the issue, for whatever the disease is, and you get yourself the healing that you need to succeed. And I think that's the number one issue I'm seeing in this epidemic, is that we're not getting what it is we need. We want to borrow somebody else's prescription, but we don't have the same disease. And that's really hurting. Come on now. That's really hurting us. And number one. But then number two is, what we're seeing being played out, this isn't new. This didn't just begin. And oh, by the way, he is not the only one. Half the people trolling in these comments really don't want the light to shine on them. But we're going to leave that alone too. We're going to leave that alone too. And we're going to move along to the fact that when my husband and I were speaking, we were talking about coping mechanisms. And I said, okay, but you know what? Where does this come from though, right? If we think back, when did we decide, hey, when I feel X, I'm going to do Y? Right? That's how I like to get back. Where did this come from? Right? When did you decide to rely on porn? I'm coming for y'all. When did you say, hey, I can't get none, I'm gonna go rub it down? Hey, I'm gonna just go like a few pictures on Instagram. Hey, I'm just gonna go find a prostitute. Hey, I can't sleep with my wife, I'm gonna sleep with her sister. Hey, he ain't cash apping me, I'm gonna go sleep with his friend. Like, when did we say that's how I cope with my insecurity? That's how I cope with my immaturity. That's how I cope with, I'm about to come through, the fact that I never learned to accept the consequences of my actions. That's what you're gonna do? And so listen, I think that that's the real issue that we have here, is we keep prancing into these situations, and then when we realize we're not ready, or the grass isn't greener on the other side, or it's not what we thought it was gonna be, we want to try to have our cake and eat it too. But then when the sunshine comes, we wishing for rain. I can't. I'm like, that don't work. So if you say you want to be married, and this is, I'm just telling you, this is why I started the coaching for wives in waiting, because I didn't even understand what marriage really was. And I went through the premarital coaching twice. I mean, premarital counseling twice. And I was still confused. I didn't understand what it really was. And I was like, why are we not speaking about what this really is? You have best understand servant leadership and the ability to to love by serving before you say you want to get married. Because your cup is not always going to be full. And this is why every therapist, every coach, anybody worth half the snuff is going to tell you it starts with self. If you go to the homepage of my website, the first thing I say is you have to know and love self before you try to love someone else. And then they're like, oh, no, I got that together. No, you don't. Because if you did, the last time he lied to you, that would have been the last time. I can't. So you want to allow things to progress. And then when it gets in the red zone, you want to shame people. Or, hey, maybe he shames himself, as it is these days. But why didn't you respond the first time he or she showed you who they were? When do we take accountability back for ourselves? And I'm going to go back to Jen and say, why the bonnet? I don't understand the bonnet. I'm going to just be for real. Listen, you saw me 30 minutes ago and I ain't look like this. I ain't getting on Jesus's internet looking like that. That's just not it. That's just not it. We're going to put a little lip or something. I just don't understand. I mean, I just, I love her. My heart goes out to her because I don't believe any woman deserves this. And I'm sure she's going through. If we are not camera ready, let's not get in front of the camera. And that doesn't mean you have to put makeup on. But the bonnet is for the bed, okay? The bonnet is a private item, okay? So why are we in
that was an interesting selection. That was definitely interesting as to why that was done. And then I guess the next video, she wasn't. So I wonder if she really wanted to do that video, or she felt like, I mean, he's saying that she did, and she said that she came on to kind of clear things up. And on top of that, this situation apparently happened a long time ago. But I mean, the whole thing is like, number one, I guess he has to save face, right? Because she's not out in the public. This is not her career. This is actually his. So I don't know what, I'm not 100% sure, like, why she positioned herself to be in that space. And now I guess she's going to be more public with him moving forward. Because to be honest, I hadn't seen his wife except for a post last year. And me and Carol Ann were like noticing that he had stopped posting, and I was wondering what that was about. But now it makes sense. And there's the other fact that he was talking about the woman who, she's not innocent, the one who I guess he was with, who took the pictures. and expose it out, But the thing is the reason that it got exposed is because you decided that you was going to sleep with this woman. And at the end of the day, that is, you have to protect your own home. You have to protect your wife. You have to protect your kids. And she doesn't have any connections to your family. And that's not her job to protect them. And so if everybody, well, I won't say everybody knows, but many people know that sometimes if you're in a relationship with somebody who's outside of your relationship, they may want to be prioritized. They may not like the way that they were treated. There's many things that may cause them to say, you know what, this is not going to be a quiet thing anymore. And now we're going to put this on Front Street. But that was a choice that you made. That was a decision that was made to put yourself in a position to be put on blast when you know what your career is.
Yes.
So I don't know, if he thought about that at that time, but if he didn't, then that's still an issue with self. Yeah. Because why are you sabotaging your relationship? Why are you sabotaging your own career? Why are you, and to be clear, of course, he's going to benefit from this because I'm sure his page is on fire. He probably has never seen so much engagement before in his life. And it's hard for him, right? Because he's pretty popular in real life. So, I mean, in reality, we just have to really think about, like, if we're in positions where we are broken and we need to, because he said he gave up and he was just so frustrated with her and he didn't get to see his kids because she was going to file for a divorce. And if you're in a position like that, number one, if you want your relationship, you need to figure out what you need to do to save it. If you're still married, on paper, you're still married, period.
Come on now.
And so stepping out and doing all this other stuff is not going to help you. It's not a fix.
It's not. And I believe her name is Candace. If I'm wrong, y'all drop her name in the chat. But I believe her name is Candace, the young lady who really blew up his spot. But here's the thing. And I did a post about this. I think I did a reel earlier today, which I clarified. Look, she ain't in the covenant. She ain't take not one vow. That doesn't mean that it's okay. I do not believe in that. I do not. But I'm going to come to you. I'm in a relationship with you. I'm married to you. So my issue is with you. You allowed her into this house, and that is how she was able to take these photos. If you hadn't made the decisions that you made, then we wouldn't be in the situation we're in. And we not finna, you didn't get into this in third person, and we ain't getting out of it in third person, okay? Listen, I don't understand. Ain't none of that. It sounds quite insane. That last video I just saw, 15 minutes before we went live, really concerns my soul. There's another one. Yes, there's in the car. Did you see that one? Look, it's another one in the car. You ain't see that one, did you? You need to reach out to him and offer your support. I'm trying to tell you, girl. Like, seriously. Whole time we're discussing this situation in third person. He refers to his wife, like his wife, like not him. It was so confusing. I paused and rewound and was like, wait, is he still talking about him? So when we're talking about the epidemic of infidelity, ladies, gentlemen, I'm about to make a statement. It doesn't matter to which sex you apply it. If the individual who stepped out is not even speaking about what they did in first person, we have issues, okay? It's not able to be moving forward. We cannot resolve when we have not even identified with what we did, okay? That is not, when we say, oh, well, we need to forgive. Yes, we do. Yes, we need to have a forgiving heart. We need to have grace. All of that is Bible. This is true. And the person needs to repent as well. Okay, they need to go to the altar. They need to go before the Father. They need to go in spirit and in truth. Okay, there are some steps that are taken before we even get to forgiveness. I'm not saying forgiveness is not important. We are called to do that, and we're going to get there. How do you say, okay, we're just going to jump to forgiveness when we never, what am I forgiving for? You never did anything.
Right, you have to identify the problem. What is the problem?
Right. Accountability. Yes, honey. If you can't be held accountable for your actions, how can we grow? And I saw someone earlier put in chat that they believe that his wife is, building a platform fighting for your marriage. And I mean, even that disturbs me. And I'm a wife coach because the last thing we needed was another toxic example of Black marriage. So many of us are working our hearts off to try and dispel those untruths, like the whole purpose of Black Marriage Week. And show you that there is positive Black marriages. There are positive Black marriages out here. We're for real. We exist. And we're not faking the funk. We have challenges that we work through, okay? We have things that we
Mhm.
had to learn about ourselves. When I see the captions, if y'all not reading the captions of these quality pages, okay, y'all missing the real tea. Because when you read the captions of what myself and the other brothers and sisters in this industry are dropping, they're giving you like the blueprint. Like, I went into this marriage and I thought it was going to be X. And I was like, he or she needs to do, and it all came back to me. It all comes back to self. It's like God changed him, God changed her, but eventually it comes right on back to no, 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 change me.
Absolutely.
Change me.
Mhm.
Give me what I need to show up the way you would have me to show up in this marriage that you called me to be in. All this other stuff that we're seeing out here is popular, it's trending, but it's confusion. It's confusion. And I just see so much negativity coming out of this. And it breaks my heart, to be quite honest with you, because I have ladies in my comments, like just yesterday, I believe a young lady said, look, y'all are lucky if y'all have this example and you think that there's good black men who love God and also love black women. And that was hard for some of the ladies to even accept. I'm not lying, Dr. Kia. And I told her,
Mhm.
I'm going to do a whole series just for you, because it was too much for me to try to address just in the comment. Like, it is so toxic what is
Yeah,
getting the trend, what is getting the visibility,
absolutely.
that it's
Absolutely.
causing our young ladies to not even have hope. And I know we
Yeah.
spoke about this on Clubhouse, the whole movement towards hypergamy, the feeling that black women, they just need to date another race, okay? Because they're gonna have more money anyway, and you're gonna get treated better, and you're gonna have that level up lifestyle, and da 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 da. And the problem with that is, if you look at the numbers, and I think we talked about this, okay? Specifically, you hear, okay, black women should date white men, right? Level up. But percentage wise, how many white men are getting with black women? So it's like setting black women up for even more heartbreak, because you're trying to push everybody over to this category of men that historically have not
That's not
shown
cool. Yeah.
who want you. So instead of letting it rest on race, again, that's just a symptom. We need to get back to the root. What is the root problem? What is the root
Mm-hmm.
problem, and how do we heal? And when it comes to what I'm seeing, and I don't claim to have the whole answer, but when it comes to this epidemic of infidelity, I see a whole lot of a lack of accountability. I see a lot of
Well,
group things, and I don't see people being still and assessing their role in the situation. And now you have this that's just like, this is confusing. Like, I wish you could see a reel of all of us, all of our faces, like,
you know, I've never seen so many people send DMs about some foolishness before in my life. Literally, because it's like, what is this? Please answer this question. People ask me like, what can you respond to this? Because and it's like, wow, because the issue is, like you said, like we have a mission to help people to know that black relationships exist, that black people can be successful, and that not every man is out here cheating, right? Because
right.
that's a whole thing that people believe in the first place. So then you have this dude, right, who has a huge following and is a relationship guru, who he said that now I don't know if he's calling himself that anymore, actually. Um, but and he ends up in this situation where he's been unfaithful to his wife, and he's the poster child for dogging men, right, for being f-boys or whatever else. So I think that, I mean, yeah, I think it's a problem. Like it's a problem, because the reality is he's not the example of most men, right? Let's be clear. There are many men who are faithful to their wives, who want to have relationships, who have worked on themselves. Like as a therapist, I actually have men who come to me and like, I don't think I'm ready for a relationship. I need to work on myself. I
Yeah.
have men who actually are in a relationship. Like, you know what? I'm used to like running from relationships, and I actually want this to work. So, what am I supposed to do? So, in real life, there are men who are working on themselves. They're not pretending like everything is all good, and I'm gonna just, show up however I want, and then, try to recover when the foolishness unfolds. So, I think that part is important to push. That I don't think that those people talk a lot either, because those are the people that they working on themselves, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
um he's not somebody who's in that space who's working on himself. He said he wasn't himself. And he's talking about now, I guess he's saying that he's gotten connected with the Lord. But in reality, that doesn't change anything. Like I said before, we work with pastors who've been working with the Lord. You still have to work on yourself. The Lord has given mental health therapists and
Yeah.
other people resources to be able to work on yourself if you're not able to do that yourself, right?
Yeah.
If you're at a space where you realize that you need help. And so you're supposed to utilize those resources,
Yeah.
not just pretend like, I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to attend a service and now I'm healed. That's not a real thing. There are resources.
Listen, you were saying
And so,
words, pretend. Like, what is with the
absolutely.
pretend? And intuition, like listening to the spirit that is within you, that is grown into you, that is trying to alert you that, hey, something doesn't feel right, something doesn't smell right. Like, listen to that. And when we're saying, and this is something I've said, I'm going to even try to stop saying self-love so much, because I'm convinced half the people don't understand what I mean when I'm saying that, right? So when someone says I love myself, then why don't you listen to the spirit within you that is trying to alert? The fact that you're not trusting self enough to listen to self, instead, you want to show him his phone and say, what is this? Like, you didn't read what you read. Like, you don't speak English no more. You know what you're reading. So why aren't you believing the first time you see it? Why are you going back asking for more lashes? What is that? So when I see that, I let people finish. And in my mind, I'm like, we have a crack in the foundation of self-love. See, if you get your self-love together, the first time you smell that, you're like, you know what? Nah. I don't eat McDonald's no more. That's not me. I'm good. I left that alone. No more Big Mac. No more. Chick-fil-A, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. Like, you've moved along, right? When we don't, that's telling me you don't trust yourself. You may not feel you're worthy. I mean, it's just so many things that those of us who work in this industry, in this field, we hear it. It's like an alarm, right? It's like, ah! So people say, well, what can we do? We can stop pretending. Because once you're in the covenant, you have a whole different responsibility. The way that we're going to counsel you is different if you're married versus if you're single.
Absolutely.
When you're single, the ball is in your court. And I'm speaking to the men and to the women. This is when people are going to woo you the greatest. They're trying to convince you that perhaps they are the partner for you. So if in your woo season, it's like, whoa, then no. All right? It's not going to get better later. Like, you don't just stay for more and say,
it does not go up,
married,
no.
X. When we get married, why? No.
It will more than likely continue.
Go ahead, Dr. Kia.
I was just going to say, it's more likely to continue. You'll be having the same thing that happened when you were in a relationship. So you need to accept people for who they are today. And if they show you who they are, then that's who you're going to marry. So even if they're working on themselves, it has to be something that you're willing to allow them to work through. And notice that I use the word allow, because you are the one who has control over your life. And the more that we realize how much control and power we have, the more we can more we can make sure the people who are in our lives are people who belong there, and the ones that are not supposed to be here are not up in our circle like that, because that's not healthy. It's not helpful. Even if somebody is like potentially good, for you in the long run, they're not good today. So what does that have to do with today? We have to operate in the present moment. That person may never reach their potential or whatever that, you think that they're going to get to.
Girl, listen, I recorded a thing the other day. I haven't even posted it yet. And I literally called it the poison of potential. I'm going to need y'all to just let that go, okay? If the situation is not acceptable as of today, then as for me and myself, we're going to move along, okay? No, because the whole potential scheme is setting up expectations. And that can be a very sticky word when it comes to relationships, these expectations, especially when they're unexpressed or they haven't been effectively communicated. And so now, let's just say if it's I love to get tangible. So if you have a woman and a man, and the woman looks at that man and she's like, you know what? I believe that in X time, you're going to come here. You might be on the floors right now, but next week is the fries. and I'm here for the fry season. And you happy to be on the floors. And now she mad. She stayed with you, but now you have all this passive aggressive activity and behavior because you were dating him for the expectation. And he was very happy and content with where he was right now. That is a poison, and that doesn't go away. And if you have had that habit, if you have that characteristic that you've been having for years, we need to work on that, sir. We need to work on that, ma'am, before you enter into a covenant. That does not just evaporate. If you live in that future pacing state of, well, where you are right now is but I'm here for that. And then that never arrives. And then you just frustrated. You tight, forever tight. You just tight instead of being at ease and at peace because you didn't, what is it, Dr. Key? You didn't accept, you didn't allow, you didn't enter into a situation that you felt was beneath you. I'm about to come through right now. Half of y'all have a problem submitting because you're with people you don't respect.
That part is real.
I'm gonna drop my right there. When you marry somebody that you respect, when you marry somebody that inspires you, when you marry a man that prays for you, when you marry a man that teaches you, when you marry a man that speaks life into you, you don't have a problem submitting. Baby, I'll submit all day long. Which way you want me to submit? But when you get hooked up with somebody you like, he trash, he been trash, I knew he was trash, he'd never been nothing but trash, I don't even know why I'm with this trash. We don't either. That tells us something about how you feel about you. Okay? We're doing this to ourselves in many ways. We're asking for this in many ways. And I'm not taking the responsibility off the perpetrator. What I'm saying is,
absolutely not.
He was like, I bet you this ain't the first time this man has spoken in third person. If you're dating and they speaking in third person now, if they lies getting them tongue tied, please run. Just run. Like, maybe y'all will run back in a circle later once we've matured to a certain space. But allowing yourself, I have to go back to that word, allowing. And I spoke about this with God is Glamorous, shout out, just last week when we were talking about, why are you so surprised that you attracted? Girl, you bad. Sir, you fine. Of course you're attracted. But that doesn't mean that everyone is allowed to be in your space. Everyone get the front row seat. Honey, you didn't earn this. Like, my circle is tight. Like, who are you? So if you come in and it's all of this then to the left, like, protect your space. Have enough self-esteem to see your space as something that people have to earn their way into. Don't just accept anything that shows up on your doorstep. This is not a puppy left by the fire department, okay? No. And, okay, Dr. Key, I know you're going to come in on this one. What about the Build-A-Bear factory that we have going on?
Not the Build-A-Bear factory. Listen. You know what? It's funny because, he talks about, not building a man and all this kind of stuff, which is his, his whole platform, which is funny. But of course not. You're not building anybody up. So the thing is with a relationship, you're in a situation where you are helping someone to reach their, to grow in their self, right? And they're there to grow, to help you to grow as well. And so both of you guys helping each other should help you to grow even bigger than you could do independently, right? However, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have the ability to, you shouldn't be moving on your own. You should be moving on your own. You should be able to independently know that I need to work on this or I need to work on that, or somebody holds you accountable and says, hey, there's an issue within this area. You should be open to hearing that information and taking it in so you can actually do something with it. So I think that you can't just be waiting on somebody to build you up. And if you are in a situation with somebody who requires you to build them to be able to be successful or be able to function, right, then that means that you're operating or setting yourself to be in a relationship with somebody who you're going to be trying to build forever and ever and ever. That doesn't change just because now you gave them some resources. Now they're looking at you for more resources. And that is what it's going to be like for the rest of your life if you don't marry this person. And that is not helpful at all, because what happens is people get drained, right? And then like, why am I with this person? He's not able to do anything on her own, or she requires all of this work and she doesn't do anything herself. Well, that is who you married. Why did you select that person? And to be honest, there are people don't have any interest in building anything, right? So why not let those people who just want to chill and not build anything connect?
Come on now.
Why are you getting connected with somebody who is not good for you? You have to really know who you are, number one, and where you want to go. And that will help you with selecting who is going to be able to stand by me and move forward.
Listen, I'm over here like I need a notepad for all the juice I'm trying to pour right after you finish. Because the thing is, we do these things, these habits repeatedly, right? It's a cycle. It's like this isn't the first, second, or 10th time. But dear, this is why you have individuals like Dr. Kia and myself. And if you just joined us, make sure you're following both of us so you can continue to get this type of sauce throughout your life, because we be posting all the time. But you need an insert of information, some clarity, some unlearning, some redirecting, because if you could fix your situation knowing all you know and doing what you do, you would have fixed it by now. But the truth of the matter is, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And we're not here for that. That's insanity, sweetie. And if you insane, I'll pray for you. DM me. I will cover you, baby. But we are not here for that. We are here to level up, level up, level up. And that means you have to get up and get some additional information. And maybe your mother didn't teach you. Maybe your father didn't teach you. Maybe your whole family had toxic habits. Baby, by the power of YouTube and all of us coaches and therapists around, the Lord is blessing you with the guidance that you need. Get to Black Marriage Week. If you know you don't have that community of individuals to surround you and give you like-minded and strong and spirit-filled advice and counsel, then reach out to the people who have what you need. Stop sitting on the sidelines thinking that you're going to paint a Picasso. Baby, that's not your skill. And it takes skill to succeed in these relationships. Relationships take work. It ain't sexy, but these are the facts. I'm coming through with the facts. Dr. Kia is giving you the facts. We have to work on ourselves. And if you're going to make it in your authentic relationship, you will learn from yours as well. You will have to work on you. And here's the thing I want to say. Listen, I love to drop a little scripture every now and again because I am the coach that is with Christ, okay? And here's the thing. If you want to keep going back to that mistreatment, that's on you. But let me not shame the saints. I believe, y'all can check me. It's Proverbs 26:11. I think. But just as a dog returns to his vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. Come on now. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. I don't eat vomit. Don't eat vomit. Leave the vomit alone. Okay, leave it alone. Turn from those ways. Get the insight you need. Get the insight you need from couples who are seriously living that life. Look, everybody IG is not really what you need to see. Sometimes it's nothing more than pretty posed pictures. They're not even going home together. They don't even live in the same house together. That's not it. Spend some time listening to the couples. Spend some time understanding, what are they standing on? Like, what are the foundations? What can I learn from them? Right? What am I missing? Because shout out, Bashay in Clubhouse was saying, Bashay Williams, y'all not following him. He said, before I was dating from a deficit, right? Oh, I need him to write another book. I need him to hit that up, because that is a whole movement. The opposite of what you were saying, right? Okay, I know I need this. I'm not going to get it. Oh, well, I'm not good in finances, so I'm going to date somebody that's good in finances. When he said that, I was like, that is what so many people do. Instead of working on yourself, you try to get with somebody else who's going to fill that void. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. We don't want parasites. Don't nobody want a parasite. I have a dog. I love my little dog, and I don't want to walk him every day. I get tired of having to walk him sometime in the snow, right? It's so much healthier when both individuals can each stand and hold their own. It's Absolutely. Not you complete me. No, we're both 100 when we come together, right? But that's not, it's you complete me. That's Jerry Maguire. That's what's popular, right? It's, hypergamy. That's what's popular, right? It's what's popular. It's what's airbrushed. It's what's cute. Oftentimes, when you see something that looks that perfect, you need to be running in the other direction. I'm just telling you the truth.
Absolutely. Because the airbrush, look, do you know how much work that takes? After all of the makeup, right? Then they add the airbrush on top of that. But in real life, you're going home to the person with no makeup, no airbrush, no nothing. So you need to be working on that, right? Know who that is, and not be focused on all of these other things. Because You know,
Bring
be
back
who
who
you
you
are to the
are.
core. Mm.
Yes. I don't understand it myself, and when we talk about these, when we talk about infidelity, I want to go ahead because I want to leave everybody with tactical strategies and tools, right? So first, as Mother Maya told us, when people show you who they are,
She said
believe them.
compliment. I like that.
Yes,
Not
absolutely. Um, First, when people show you who they are, believe them, right? If you happen to be single, make the decision about who moves forward in your life, right? Life is not happening to you, okay? You have an active role in it. And if you struggle
mm-hmm.
with taking the reins on your life, then make sure, again, you reach out to one of us or the coach or counselor of your choice and get the support that you need so that you can live life like it's golden, right? None of us are victims from now to the end of time. It's time to take responsibility and to help map out the future and set your affirmations and your goals, and let's get to it. Okay. So that's the real level up. Okay. Is when you really do love yourself, right? Because my
Mm-hmm.
husband makes jokes about all these IG videos where the chick is like doing this or even just like showing the before and the after. He's like, that's sorcery. That's sorcery. And I'm like, it kind of is. Why do you look like a completely different person? Like that doesn't, I don't understand it. Like that's not what you're gonna look like in the morning, and that's who your partner is going to see. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really crucial to get comfortable with you, right? Just with you, because you are enough, right?
Absolutely.
And so
And
many
if you're
people
with
can't
somebody who
receive
can't
that,
see it,
right? They
then
can't
they
receive
got
when you
to
say
know
you
what
are
to do
enough.
then.
They're like, huh?
Yeah, you need to find somebody who knows it and who wants to be with you in your authenticity, period. Who wants to be cuddled with you, who wants to chill with you, who wants to talk to you without the filter, without the code switching voice, without the hair, the nails, the makeup, like somebody who is into you. That's what you need to be looking for. Because all these other people, when you're your real self, right, they're not going to be interested. And therefore, what does that leave you with? But nothingness.
Nothing.
So, I mean, really just try to focus on building yourself up, really focus on knowing who you are, and focus on making sure that the people that you're allowing in your space belong. And I like what you said about, the victim component. And I know that people struggle with this because they're like, well, he did something to me, or, she's the one who kind of positioned me to be in this space. But at the end of the day, if you're not figuring out how can I make sure that I don't end up in this space ever again? How can I make sure that I get what I want? Then you're going to have all these other people controlling your life
That's right.
and controlling where you're going, where you're going to live, controlling how happy you're going to be. And you don't want that. We want to be people who are able to say, this is what I want for my life. This is why I'm going in this direction. You don't belong here. You're a great person, but guess what? We can't connect because I'm going in this direction and you trying to go there.
Mm,
Plain and simple. But that means that you have to stand in your truth and set boundaries and be accountable for your own actions and your own decisions.
yes. Mm.
The only way.
Thank face.
The only way.
The only way. It's truly the only way. And that may not be sexy. That may not be, what sells and what people want to hear, but it's the truth. And you see,
I can tell people what they want to hear. I don't know that it will be helpful. You end up in a bad space, right? In
right,
real life, because what you want to hear is not what's going to help you. Because people like to hear, I don't want to be accountable, and it's always somebody else's fault. And even Michelle Obama talked about that, right? She went to the therapist and she was like, it's all him, please fix him. And then she realized, oh, it's not him, it's me. I
right.
need to actually fix me, and he needs to fix it, right? So, I mean, and that's okay, right? Because when we know that, then we can do better. If we don't have that information, then we're going to stay stuck. So
Mm,
you have an option: stay stuck, pretend like everything is great, but not get to that happy spot in your life, or figure out, this is what I'm doing to add to the situation. This is why I keep coming to the same situation over and over again. And
yeah.
I'm going to just be real, even with counseling people. when people have problems in a relationship and they're like, you know what? And I've had this kind of happen a couple of times. I'm gonna just get somebody else because this person is not good for me. You know, they're doing this and that. I don't like them, and blah 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 blah. So what happens? They go and they get another person, and what? They duplicate something similar or the exact same thing again, and then they have come back and be like, well, you said, did you what? You're gonna keep getting the lesson over and over again until you learn it. You have to fix you. And the thing is, it's like if you are interested in a healthy person, right? Somebody who's healed, somebody who is really working on themselves, they are not going to stay with somebody who is not doing that. When you have all the toxic stuff coming through, they're gonna be like, yeah, that toxicity smacked me in my face one time, and I don't want that anymore.
Right.
And guess what? I know that I can have more, and I know that there are people out here that are not toxic where I don't have to have that smacked in my face. You know what? You're a great person, and I love you when you're good, but when you're not, you're toxic, and I don't have to deal with that. So you're not going to connect with who you want until you really recognize that you need to work on yourself so that you can have what you want. And so, yeah, people think about relationships, they're really focused on the other person, but we need to fix us. We need to fix to make sure that we're doing what we need to do and we stay doing what we need to do in order to keep who we want in our life.
Yes, because it is a continual journey. I'm so glad you said that we stay doing, because that is why I have like the Irresistible Wife Life Collective, right? It's just a community of wives that come together. We're accountability partners for each other, because you get all this information before you get married in your standard premarital counseling, right? Then you get married and then what? All the problems just evaporated? That is crazy as I don't know what. That's no. You are going to need some continual support. You'll probably need more when you get married, because now you've entered into a covenant. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. You've made a union. He has to come break that up. So here they come. Here come everything. All the imps. Here they come. So what do you have in you that's going to be ready to fight that? Who are you talking to that's going to listen to you emphatically, and they're going to really encourage you, but then they're going to guide you right back to your covenant with the person that met all your values and your true needs. I'm going to come through hot. I'm coming in hot. Y'all feel me? I'm coming in hot. Here it is. The issue that I see most often is we don't really know our values. We don't really understand what our core needs are. So we can't assess whether the person in front of us meets them or not. Excuse me, you just been dealing with whoever comes your way, and you can't recognize, or you never ask God specifically for what it is you wanted. So you don't know if the person showing up is meeting that or not. So you just out here tossing in the wind, just whatever they offer. That's what you're dealing with right now until the next person comes along. Foolishness. No, we have to do that inner work. We have to say, what are the non-negotiables for me? They may not be the same as your friends, your family, or anybody else. What matters to me? For example, I said the word for me is exclusivity. I don't share. Okay? I don't share. She better have nothing that's supposed to be mine. Not my time, not my place, not my kids, not my nothing. I don't share. And my husband knew that from day one. So that was not a surprise after we jumped through. I don't share. If you need to enter into a polygamy type situation, that's cool. You fine, go that way. I will wink while you walk away. But don't come over here in my space, because I'm not having that. I want you to know, when you're that clear on what it is you will and will not accept, that makes people want you even more. When you out here willing to accept any and everything, they're like, oh, she for the streets. They don't want you. They don't take you seriously. It's a branding thing. I mean, when you think about it, when you look at Tesla, when you look at Vera Wang, when you look at Rolls Royce, it's super expensive, but it's exclusive, and we respect it, right? If you respect yourself, you teach other people to respect you too. If you just go for any and everything and you just flowing in the wind, then hey, it's whatever. However I treat you, it is what it is. And then you come to us on the back end like, well, he just keeps lying to me, or she just doesn't respect me. She talks to me any kind of way. Did she talk to you like that before? Was she always being condescending? Did she always talk to you like you were her son and not her husband? Oh, and you just thought that over time that was going to get better? People say time heals all wounds. I don't think so. I'm coming for that in the real soon. No,
there ain't no ointment on that. They ain't even using ointment. They just continuing to scab up. So it's not like,
come on,
it's not like you been with somebody who is talking to you any old kind of way and doing any old thing. They feel like that's fine. They're probably doing it to other people too. but you're the person who's supposed to check them. And I think that that's the other part that people don't understand in a relationship. And that's probably why people don't like relationships, is because you are going to get checked if you're with a healthy person. And your friends, like your distant friends, the ones who be like, you know what, we're not inviting her to that. She can't come. Even Niecy Nash was like, I had an event. You couldn't. We didn't invite her because she wasn't going to be good for the people here. But but when you're with somebody, now they gotta be with you, and your behavior is a representation of the family, right?
Oh,
So
now.
they're going to be more invested in saying that behavior really, I know you think it's good, but probably you might want to work on it.
Listen,
Because there's a lot of people who are saying X, Y, and Z, or you turn a lot of people off with whatever, right? But that's growth. That helps you to grow. And if you don't want to grow, right, then you're gonna be like, oh, you a hater. You don't know. Right?
girl,
So you can continue to be wild. But the reality is, it goes back to what I was saying. The person is not going to want to be with you because now they realize that they want a stable home and you're not stable.
right.
So you cannot build a stable home with somebody who is not even working on stability. How about you're in a space that's not stable and you're saying, this is the way that I love it?
Right.
No.
Right. And when people talk about whether standards are unrealistic, and again, we talked about this on Clubhouse as well. Y'all check us out there as well. We'll be coming through. And I believe that I said, it's about being the person that the person you're looking for is looking for. If when you describe the person that you really want in your heart, you don't measure up, then we need to have a self-assessment. We need to talk about a few things. What about you would attract that person? Like, if they're the type of person who's done the things and protected their credit and paid things on time because they wanted that 800 and you swore in with your 550, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm just trying to figure out what life choices are you making that are going to align. Okay, Tara Gates, are going to align with the life choices of the person that you're saying that you want to be with. When it's not in alignment, we need to have a discussion. We need to do some inner work. We need to assess some things about what it is that you're projecting versus what it is that you're actually living. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. But if you know that you're doing what it takes to be the woman or man that you feel like you should be, and you're asking the Lord to bless you with someone that is congruent to that, then when people show up that are not there, they might be a great friend. But I would urge you to consider 3 times before you put them up in equal alignment with you, because later when they're struggling back here, because this is where they always were, you're going to be the one that's frustrated. And there's going to be enough that you don't know now that's going to woo-ha on you, and you're going to have to deal with it. You don't want to be dealing with stuff that you saw from before. Like, come on now. You can resolve the things you can see. Leave room for what's underneath the water, because there is more. You can do everything that we would coach or counsel you to do, and there's still going to be some things like, thought you had it all in check. Busta Rhymes going to come out all on y'all. Y'all listen. This love thing is real. I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, it's a serious matter. So, and yes, honey, equally yoked. That is clearly, that's the phrase of the lifetime, right? And when we have these discussions, I know for me, I try to use the language and the vernacular that we speak in the streets, because I want everybody to feel me, right? I'm not in the mode of being so heavenly minded that I'm so no earthly good, right? I'm not just going to sit here and just spit scripture all day long, but I will point you back and say, isn't it surprising that if we flip right here, there it is. But if you want to say she for the streets, she for the streets. Maybe others will call her a Jezebel. It's just a different way to look at it, right? But at the end of the day, there are strategies that are proven to work. At the end of the day, there are individuals who do want to love you the way that you are supposed to be loved, the way you deserve to be loved, the way you desire to be loved. And in reality, there are some activities and some habits and some things that you could be doing that aren't serving you, that are causing you to attract some things that you're saying that you don't want. And often you can't see the color of your own eyes. You need someone else that's a trusted agent to show you. And so that is why Dr. Kia and I do what we do each day to serve as a trusted agent, as an ambassador of love, to help people to understand what it is they can't see, like a Johari window. Like, we're trying to show you the piece that you're not seeing. We're the surgeon. We're going in and we're like, you thought everything was good, but we see this blood clot that's coming. It's going to stop the whole show soon. So what we're trying to offer you, and what Dr. Kia and her counterparts are offering you, and I'm just honored, Dr. Kia, to be a part of it, is Black Marriage Week is like a quick open surgery, right? They're bringing in all of us. They're bringing in sex therapists. They're bringing in counselors, their therapists, coaches. I mean, the best of the best, motivational speakers, DJs, all in this weekend, not just to be entertaining, but to help us to learn what it is we thought we already knew. And that's what we need. If we really want to stop this epidemic of infidelity, we have to humble ourselves, be still, and recognize that it's time for us to really get about the business of learning what's in our blind spots. Ours. I'm not talking about your spouses right now. I'm not talking about your partners right now. What's in your blind spot? Or what happened in your past relationship that you thought you had gotten over. But just like the rearview mirror says, objects in mirror are often closer than they appear. And you think that you moved on from that, but actually it's still right there. These are the things that we get up day in and day out to help people with. And we wish. And me, I work with ladies before they get there. My program is before Boaz. So I have a harder job. By the time you need Dr. Kia, she's like, all right, you already experienced it. You ready? Let's do it. I'm trying to convince you before you get there. Like, I promise you, it's coming, sis. Listen to me. It's coming. So either way it works, right? Please be sure you have some support system, some accountability, some trusted agent, someone to be there for you. Because this love thing, it's the real deal. I mean, can't you see what they're going through? Third person. Oh, and before we wrap, Dr. Kia, let's go back to this bonnet. You know I got to end on some tea. You talked about you have to represent your other partner, right? You represent your partner. It's not just you. So you have to be accountable. Well, I had an issue with that because when I looked up Derek Jackson, all his stuff is airbrush, haircut, all of that. So why would you have your wife, your bride, out here with a bonnet on? Like, why would that represent your union, your brand, your whatever? Like, why aren't you looking toe up from the club and she's still looking like Queen Bey? That right there, I didn't receive that well. I need some therapy to deal with that because I was just like, see, this is what I don't, that's that ish I don't like. Like, no, she didn't do any, well, I don't know the situation, but as far as we've been told, she didn't have any real role in this, right? As far as the publicity of this situation. So why should she be sitting here looking anything less than glam? And not that she had to put makeup on, but just in her, I had time to get prepared before I got into a camera state, right? That, to me, just for me, before they even spoke, I was like, the situation is already telling me this ain't what they're saying it is. Like, we're not moving forward because we're still out of order. She's still not being treated like a bride. That doesn't work for me. And I would hope that our ladies would see situations like that where they're not being treated like a bride and run from it, right? Don't accept it. Don't allow it.
You set the standard for what is going to happen in your life, so you draw the line. But and get your tickets for Black Marriage Week at blackmarriageweek.com.
Because we gotta go. Like, we've been on here for like an hour.
Really? Look, I don't even know what time it is, but yes. So we'll see y'all Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday at blackmarriageweek.com. Get your tickets. I think that well, actually, I do have some free tickets to give away. I'll probably do it tomorrow though.
I was supposed to give a ticket away. Okay. I forgot.
Yeah, because I had somebody that paid a ticket for somebody else, but you had one too.
Yeah, I had a ticket. So what can we ask?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm about to give a ticket away. Who want to go to Black Marriage Week? Lord, now I got to think of something to ask.
You got a dare.
Man, what did we talk about a while ago? I'm trying to give it to somebody who's been with us for a minute. She said me. Oh, I know what I can say. I broke down the difference between three type of people. I said a blank, and a blank. I said a blank, a therapist, and a coach. What was the other one? That's something I said a while
Ooh,
ago.
yeah. That's somebody who's been here for a minute.
You've been here for a minute. I said that a while ago. I said there were three different types of people. There's a blank, there's a coach, and there's a therapist. Girl, I almost said it just did. Oh, pink tea. Pink tea.
Yes.
Yeah. Teacher, that's right. Okay. So how should we give her the ticket? Does she need to DM you or
All right,
DM?
so all we need, if you can send a DM with your name, email address, and phone number, then we can put you on the list. Yeah.
I almost forgot. Pink tea. I'm so excited. Thank you for rocking with us this evening and staying with us the entire time because I know I said that a minute ago, but yes.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yes, so I will be sure to save this. Let's pray that it comes off correctly. Sometimes IG's this week has been acting up. It's really been
Oh,
acting.
really?
Yeah, but yes, Phoenix Wise, I will save this as soon as we get off, download it, and I will post it to my page on Shanoria, the confident one. Again, if you're not following both of us, hit that down arrow in the upper left-hand corner. Make sure you follow both accounts so that we can continue to connect with you. Pink Tea, we are so excited for you. Dr. Key, honey, thank you so much for being with us this evening. I cannot wait to see you Friday.
Yes, I appreciate you for bringing me on. Thanks. It was lots of fun.
Yay! All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great night.
All right, bye.
Bye.